Hey, everybody. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Kelley Cortner. She is a rock star agent here in Colorado Springs. We're going to find out all of her secrets. She's going to tell us everything. 42 deals in your first 12 months.
Yes.
It's going to be good. Hang in there. Kelley, did that make you want to dance, Kelley?
It did. Hi, Jeff.
It is good to see you. So thank you very much for jumping on here. I know you are a busy lady. You are running in 10 directions. So no, I appreciate your time. Seriously, you got such a great story and definitely wanted to just let people hear some of it, tell a little bit about yourself. Talk real quick. Tell a little bit of your story before real estate. Okay. So we get to know you a little bit.
First, I have to thank you for taking the time and hearing my story. I really appreciate that. And if I can encourage anybody and motivate them, I am happy to talk to them. My story started, I actually did nails for 20 years. So I was self-employed doing nails and basically being a self-employed person, listening to everybody's needs and wants while doing their nails. I feel like I was a therapist, an underpaid therapist, but it was great because I learned the skills of helping people through their problems by talking it out. And I was born and raised in California. And by the time I was 23, I bought 3 homes and I have traveled to 5 states, lived in Germany. Like we have traveled the world and we're settled here in Colorado now. And yeah, I'm a mom of 2 kids and that's pretty much it. Just
very cool. How old are your kids?
They are 7 and 9. They're busy.
Yeah, for sure. So why real estate? But what led you into real estate? I mean, obviously, you're buying the homes at an early age. That's got your feet wet early there.
That's a great question. By the time I got into real estate, we had bought 8 homes. Real estate wasn't on my radar. It's so funny. Doing nails, what I loved. I actually was doing nails on a client, and she was younger than me, and she was in real estate. And I realized then, like I said, I can do it. I didn't think that real estate was something that somebody my age could do. I mean, if you think of the statistics of what it was when I was 23 buying my homes, the person that was selling me buying my home was mid 40s to 50s. And it never occurred to me that somebody in the younger generation could actually do real estate. So I saw these women that I did nails on and saw the potential, like, wow, this could work for me. So I decided one day to go ahead and go online and take my test. And 2 months later, I had my license. And 2 months after that, I sold my first house. So it was just like an aha moment. I didn't know I knew so much in real estate, but I'd already purchased so many homes, been a renter, been a landlord, been like not an investor. So all of those skills that I had kind of led me to realize, wow, I should probably be doing this. And unfortunately, I loved my nail career, but the money just wasn't there. It took me about a month to realize, yeah, that things change quickly and you need to be available for your clients in real estate. So I unfortunately had to give up the nail job.
Yeah. And when was that? When did you first get started?
So I went 2020, January 2020, I went online school, and by March 4th, I had my license. So
and then we all shut down. Then there was nothing going on.
We all shut down.
COVID.
And yeah, it's crazy. Everyone was staying home, and I was with bottom line is the online presence helped a lot. Everyone said, we were already in an online presence. So it was really helpful in 2020. I think it was a very successful year for me just because I was home and I could work from home and I could do what real estate agents do. Yeah.
So those first few months, you got your first client, you had your first sale 2 months into it.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like at the beginning? Those first 2 or 3 months, getting things up and running, figuring out, they teach you everything in real estate school except how to do real estate.
Absolutely.
All the laws keeps you out of jail and stuff. But in terms of building a business and stuff, it's like, what was that like for you those first few months?
So I think it was awesome. And maybe there are people who maybe didn't feel supported, but I had the best support. And I think that was probably the biggest deal for me. I think there are a lot of places out there that might not support you as much. Like just the people that I was around. I think that we didn't have our little luncheons at that time, but the people that I was around available to me at any time to get me through those first couple months, because as a new agent, you're very lost. If someone's not there to help you, I had an amazing mentor. I'll plug him. Andrew Vos was an amazing mentor. And, to just have somebody, if I needed to answer a question, phone calls, our community in real estate here in Colorado Springs is so helpful. And I think it's just the bigger picture, to have more the support. I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for having anybody that I needed at the time I needed it to answer their phone, respond, check a contract. Like, just maybe I'm just a unicorn in a sense that I did. It was easy for me because I had the support, but I guess that's important. Make sure you have support in order to be successful.
People around you, it definitely helps. I will say this, and I think, I mean, I've had my, 20-year career now in real estate right here in Colorado Springs, and there are great agents across this town, great companies, great agents. I mean, I've been at several different companies throughout my career, but, the community itself of realtors just as a whole, for the most part, is just, it's so good here. It really is. I think we are blessed in a lot of ways. We don't realize it, what we have here just in town. I mean, I love the realtor get-togethers, I'm not talking EXP. I'm talking about just in general. We all get together. There's just a lot of camaraderie, a lot of us working together, regardless of, we're not competing so much against each other. We are, but it's not like a cutthroat kind of thing at all. Everybody's helping each other in a lot of different ways. I have seen that here, which is good.
And I only know here. So,
Right.
I'll take your word for that. But I mean, I did cry one time. Someone made me cry.
Did you?
But
I don't know that I've cried. I've wanted to throw things at times. I don't think I have, but oh man, yeah, it could be. There's challenges that go along with this. People don't realize what we earn our commissions. We earn our money. I mean, I think clients have no idea some of the stuff that goes on. Those phone calls at 10 o'clock at night when you're keeping a deal together, and whatever, they're not even thinking of it. They don't even know things are going on sometimes. It's a lot we do behind the scenes to keep this going. So, go ahead.
So my first contract, I think I did 10 offers. We were in this crazy market in June last year. And I did, you learn really quickly. I guess I can say I'm very thankful that the market was so hard, because I mean, in an average market, there was so much on the table. You could pick whatever you want. You make maybe a couple. This is I think, because I wouldn't know, I'm new, but normally you maybe do 6 to 10 transactions a year. You write 6 to 10 contracts a year. That's it. My first contract or first thing, I wrote 10 contracts in 1 year in one client. So I think I'm pretty experienced quickly. You know what I mean? You learn really quickly in this type of market.
2020, 2021 real estate,
Yeah.
Working with buyers, like, oh man, it's challenging. So, and again, the good agents adjust. I went through 2008. We all had to adjust. I mean, it's just, the good agents get through the times. You learn, you adjust as you go, So let me ask you this, the NAR stat, the average realtor, 6 deals a year, and most are out after 2 years. They're done. It's got a very short lifespan for the most part. I put 40, you did 42 deals your first year.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. What's crazy is 42 deals is a lot. I'm hearing it's a lot. It didn't feel like, I wouldn't know anything to compare it to. Unfortunately, it wasn't January to December, so I couldn't get any kind of like awards. It's kind of sad that it was June to June. You know what I mean? So you're kind of divided in half. But yeah, the experience, what I did in a year, I just had a goal. Being self-employed for my whole life, I know what it means, and being a referral-based person when it comes to even just doing nails, I know firsthand that the way to get the business is to be good at what you do and hope people talk about what you do. So I think that and of course I never stopped talking. So that was always I met no stranger and everybody knew what I did. At the end of the day, I think just my energy and nonstop helped me get through that. And really, I have a goal about 3 years. I know the statistics of 2 years. That's all. I actually thought it was 5 years. They don't last more than 5 years. But I thought, well, I have about 3 years to get to the grind, get my name out there, and hope that people repeat and talk about me. You build those relationships. And I I'm already seeing that repeat client already, or while I have a client, they're already talking about, hey, use Kelly. She's great. You just have to be available. And yeah.
What was it? Can you think was there one point along the way? I mean, and again, 42 deals your first year, you're busy, I mean, that's a lot. Is there one thing that you can think of, a couple things maybe, that just like here was kind of even that first year, a turning point for you? Like, here's something where things like really like something like like I learned from it and I was able to improve on it. You know what I mean? We're always growing.
I'm always growing. I'm always learning. It was when I realized that I was doing a lot. It was an aha moment when I had 7 yard signs and they were all taken. I mean, that was pretty cool, and I realized this is going to be something big. And the turning point of just realizing that the problem with real estate, or I guess with real estate, you never know what's in the pipeline. You never know what's next. That's probably the scariest part. What's my next deal? It takes 30 days to get a paycheck, right? So if you don't have something in that pipeline, and then just seeing that momentum and the ball rolling to realize that your hard work is paying off, I think that was more of a turning point for me. I don't think there was a aha moment where I could do something different. I was just rolling and realizing it was working,
Is there anything that knowing what you know now, so you've been into it now for, coming up on a couple years here, year and a half, whatever, is there anything you would go back, if I could do something different, if I could go back to the beginning, here's one thing that I would do differently?
Absolutely. A big deal. I would have hired an assistant day one. Okay. And I had no idea. And here's the thing. I know people have coaches and I love coaches. I have not personally hired a coach. To be honest, it was, I think, more, you have to realize the bigger picture. I would have probably hired a coach, but I know number one for me is my assistant, because I did it all. I did Sync, I did Zillow, I did Offer something and Outbound Engine. I spent a lot of money. And what I do, my very first thing, and none of it worked. And I'll tell you why. Because you have to follow up on those processes. And if you don't, I was so busy, Sync is a great thing. You put your emails in and it does a lot of work and tracking for you. But if you don't do that because you're so busy, it does nothing for you. You just waste your money. So for everybody who is new, talk about an assistant, even if it is an hourly wage, it doesn't have to be salary. It could be per deal, just like a coach. It could be something, just have an arrangement like, hey, help me build, help me get better, or, look great and follow up. You can't do it all yourself. You have to have systems in place. And that's what I would have done differently, is hired an assistant sooner.
At what point did you hire an assistant?
Oh, well,
when did that happen?
So my assistant came about 6 months ago. Yeah, she's an agent. Her name is Alexis Johnson. I'm going to plug her because I love her and I wouldn't be anywhere without her. And at TC, I hired a TC after my 5th transaction. And if anybody's new and doesn't realize what that is, they basically keep your paperwork. I mean, it's hard numbers. My job, you just got to know what you're good at, what you're better at, right? I'm not looking at a specific date. I need someone to make sure that date doesn't pass. Obviously, I'm doing the work for that date, but hey, just somebody, extra eyes, and a TC is also a transaction coordinator, is also somebody who you need to hire right away.
Mm-hmm. When my wife started working with me, my first 3 years was by myself. Mm-hmm. My 3rd year, I did 72 deals by myself, which, I mean, you did 42. I mean, how, oh my God. Quality of life was like, what quality of life? Close your eyes. There's no quality of life. Right. It was horrible. And so my wife got her license 2005, and then she hired an assistant without me knowing. And my first thought was like, it was like, no, what are you doing? I mean, whatever, she ran this ad and all this. I'm like, I'm thinking salary. I'm going to pay this person every 2 weeks and all this kind of stuff. And it was absolutely the best thing we ever did. I mean, it really just, all that stuff that I, whatever, some of the replies, even sorting through the emails. That's why I set up a separate email account. She'd just send me the stuff that I need. She'd deal with all the rest of it, different things. And she was able to, just some of the stuff that, just that an assistant could do that I just didn't need to be involved in, where I could be out there, going after the next deal, returning the, calling the leads and doing all the things to set more appointments for our team.
Absolutely.
Different things. So now you have a team, right? Do you have a team right now?
So I do not have a team. We are a group. So we're a group. We actually,
Gotcha.
and the great thing about our EXP for us is everybody can be just as successful as somebody else. Our group is more of a, so I'd say it's collaboration of just, in my opinion, the best of the experienced, and we help each other grow. And at the end of the day, we are all interested in being our own boss and growing our own, and I, that's pretty much what it's about. And, I can do a team if I wanted to. And we talk about, I mean, that's up to anybody in our group can do a team, but right now, I think we're all just trying to be independent and be our own bosses and help each other.
So, and real quick, talking about EXP. So you hit icon.
Mm-hmm.
You hit icon status. Talk about that. Explain that to everybody what an icon agent is at EXP, and talk about that for a second, because that's huge when you hit that. I mean,
It'll be a 5-minute little plug for this. So just for anybody who is looking into different brokerages, I was at a different brokerage before for only a month. I didn't sell a house. I realized quickly, being self-employed, that I wanted to make my own money. I was on a team, and I learned that I was going to make my own money. I didn't want to be on a team, and I had a choice to stay at that brokerage or move to EXP. Well, and we all talk about splits, caps, whatever, all that good stuff. What you always say that, Jeff, there's only 3 things to talk about, right? So EXP is like a 16K cap, and the other brokerage was 21K. Well, the person who presented it to me was my cousin, Clark Koppel, EXP. I saw the video, and it was basically 16K. And if you sell enough homes, they give you the 16K back in stock in the company. Well, I believe in myself enough. And if I didn't believe in myself enough, at least I knew it was cheaper cap, bottom line. And I'd rather work towards a goal of something than give away all my money and not get anything in return. So I saw that investment side of me. I saw that. So I wanted to invest in myself. So by the time I had paid the cap of 16K, EXP allows you to buy stock at a 5% discount, 10% lower than the value of the stock. So you actually get more for your money. And by the time I had paid EXP 16K, my stock was at $28,000. So I was already ahead of the game before, and I had just paid them 16K. So if you back up to the other brokerage, I would have paid them 21K, got nothing. I paid them 16K. So I'm already ahead of the game at having 28 in the bank. But I then icon, which means I did 20 more deals, and it fluctuates at about a $5,000. You can do referrals. You can get money from the referrals. You can get money from splitting a deal. Bottom line is there's a certain amount of money. And once you hit that, they give you all your $16,000 back in stock in the company. So my very first year, I had, let's just do the math. I had the 28K plus a 16K my first year. So the company paid me to work for them on top of having people in the revenue share. Like, it was a no-brainer to me. And I really, that's probably why we're crazy people out there sharing the good news, because it works and it makes sense. Why make the big person rich and we just work for them? Let's help each other all grow and become wealthy ourselves.
5 different ways we get stock.
Mm-hmm.
And in the group that I'm a part of here, I mean, we had over 100 agents in our group go over $1 million in stock value. And then there's all kinds of things out there and talk, well, yeah, but you can't do anything with it for this. It's like, so much of it is just not true. Misinformation. Aaron Kin was, you hear me tell his story all the time.
Yeah.
I interviewed him here recently. We'll be posting that soon. Aaron was the first guy that I showed this to. He called me up back in like March of this year. His stock hit 1.2 million. He cashed out 1,000 shares, paid off his house, paid off his cars, completely debt free. He's like, 19 years of being in the business. The last 2.5 years here has completely changed our lives. Thank you for showing me EXP. Like, I love showing this to people. Like, getting paid multiple ways for things we're going to do anyway. And like you said, I've been over 100% every year since I've been here. And people don't understand that. Well, that's impossible.
I have,
not impossible.
I have 5 more. Well, I have 3 under contract and I have 2 more, and I'll be over 100% again because I'll make icon again. I mean, I have until it's your anniversary date, and my anniversary date is May. Let's do the math. Let's just say I'm already there.
You'll hit that.
Yeah. And it's, we're not doing anything different. That's what people aren't realizing. You're just doing yourself. You're just being who you would have done. You were just being where you would have been anywhere else, except the numbers make more sense here. Even you've mentioned this before, even if you're only like a half cap or 8 grand. Let's just say you do 8 grand in deals. Well, that stock alone that they give you for free, or yes, you do pay, you can buy it at the 5% discount, but if you get somebody under you, if you icon, if you cap, you get the stock for free anyways. And with that number, your 8K would have turned into 16K. So you're leaving 8K on the table. Like that's just the bigger picture, the flat fee brokerages. Had I done 42 deals with the flat fee brokerage, I would have paid over 16K and not gotten it back. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm fired up because it makes sense.
For sure. What would you say to, there's a lot of people have gotten their licenses this year. I mean, real estate's hot, so everybody goes get their license. They don't realize it's hot because there's nothing to sell. Makes for this hot market. And again, the good agents, we get through, we learn how to do it, you adjust. And then there's a lot of people that have used that excuse even the last year. Yet you started in June of 2020, in the middle of all this craziness, and you did 42 deals your first year. Like what sets you apart from those agents that are just like, oh my God, I just can't do it. It's struggle, 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 struggle. What is making you different and what do you think it is?
Okay, I don't stop talking. I will ask anybody and make them know, but I don't not answer my phone. I know it's rude sometimes. People don't understand that our job is 24 hours a day. I mean, there are times where, we've gotten under contract at midnight. I think that it's a drive that you have. You either have it or you don't. You can try to teach somebody, but honestly, it does. Listen, I was a stay-home mom. Yes, I worked and did nails, but if I didn't have that work ethic, you can't sit on the couch and say, "Oh, I'm not getting any deals." Go out and get them. Go out and talk to people. Go network. Answer your phone. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Get mad when someone doesn't use you. Sorry. One of my best friends bought a new build in California. I could have helped her. She didn't know. You know what I mean? I'm not mad at her, but I'm like, she didn't know. So people need to know that in this business, we are always available anywhere. And I connected somebody in Tennessee and somebody in Washington. Why did we do that? Because we have a group of collaborating people who can help people. Let me help you find somebody. So it's not going to be handed to you. If you think this job is going to be handed to you, get a different job.
Yeah. And I do see that. I think that's one of the things for the new agents out there that are watching this or will watch this. I think just, you got to hustle. I'm my own boss, you probably, if I think sometimes we need to fire ourselves. You would have fired yourself if it was, it's because we're not showing up at work. I was with an agent here this has probably been a couple, 2-3 months ago. And they were looking at EXP. They're at another company here in town. But they've been, they're at a great company, and in the company, a lot of training, this and that. And I said, so how's it been the last couple of years? Oh my God, it's been horrible. I'm like, okay, well, how many deals have you done? 2 in 2 years. Okay. How much training have you sat through in the last couple of months? She looked at me like I was like crazy. Like, excuse me, what? Like, how much training have you sat in the last couple of months? None. Okay. Like how many calls have you made this week to prospects to like, what do you do? And she again, nothing. I'm like, and I flat out told her, like, I didn't even show her EXP. Like, I'm like, maybe this isn't for you. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you move here. Okay, we've got 80 hours a week of live training, but your company has training and we could have 1,000 hours a week. If you're not going to sit in on any of it, who cares? It doesn't matter. You got to get up in the morning and have that drive to, and the discipline to be your own boss. You got to get out there and make calls. Just because you got a license, all of a sudden you think the phone's going to ring. It doesn't work that way. You got to get out there and hustle.
100%. And I think that that's the reason, maybe as you're talking about it, that I have been successful is I was self-employed for 20 years. I started at 17 years doing nails. And I rebuilt my clientele in 5 different states. Usually it takes a lifetime to build a clientele. I had it built 5 different times within the year each. So I know what it's like to get your name out there. But we all say, everyone thinks being your own boss is the best thing in the world. But if you don't work, you don't get paid unless you're with EXP. You get paid without working sometimes. But
over time you can.
Over time you do. But the I guess positive part of it is me knowing how to hustle, because if I don't work, I don't get paid. And I think that's the mindset of a lot of people. And the new agent can join a team and get handed leads, right? All the time. And your team lead would get a little bit of money on that. But where do you realize you can't get handed everything and hope to be successful? You have to figure out a way to do it yourself, because no one's going to just give you a handout. Okay, there's yeah.
What's your big why? You have a big why?
I loved real estate forever and I didn't know how much I loved it. And I love it. I don't feel like I'm working at all. My big why is the big picture. I never thought that I mean, here I'm in real estate. It's a hustle. And now I could already think about retirement probably in 5 years. Like my big goal is, wow, I could be done. How weird, but I still love it. But I don't want to work forever. And I didn't know that I didn't have to. Right. So the big why is to just see that future of work your butt off, help a lot of people. I love helping people. I love people in my downline. If they need me, I'm available. When they call me, I'm there. I think maybe I'm kind of a servant as I am anyways, naturally. So if I can help you be successful, it helps me. And we are all happy, we're all growing in this. So I think EXP gave me that why of the potential for later, what I can do with it.
What are your goals for this next year, 2022? Have you
So
started working on those yet? I mean, I know you're busy.
yeah, so my goal is to put some people in place to help me continue to scale. Um, I have we EXP doesn't have an office, right? We have choices. I'm working on an office, and that's just my own personal decision. I like to collaborate, and I know we can do it anywhere, but I like it. I want to have that, so that's my goal. Help other people. I want to grow my downline. I am starting a foundation, and it is still in the works, but it is basically to make people independent. Um, I think that everybody should be independent and be able to do what they want in life. And I think that real estate has caused me to be independent. And I'm very thankful for that. So I want to start something to kind of share my story of, hey, let me help you. Let me help you change your situation if you need change in your situation. So I'm working a little bit on that. And that's what I'm going to concentrate, because what I did in a year and a half, I want to teach other people that they can do it too. I'm not some unicorn. I didn't do anything crazy. I just worked my butt off and I had great support. So if I can do it, I know somebody else can do it.
I think that's a great message to every agent out there, but especially the ones that have been in the business for the last couple of months, the last couple of years. They're newer. It's like, hustle. Get out there. Get out there. Even right now, maybe it's a little slower. Maybe there's no deals in the works right now. It's December, and things will slow down a little bit. Although it's still 70 degrees here in Colorado Springs. Go
Yeah.
figure.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I think too, it's like, it's a great time to be working ahead in your business. But do that at a coffee shop. Do that out there where people are, and just start talking to people. You will find people that are looking to make a move. You'll overhear a conversation at that table next to you. Here's the two moms with their kids, and the one mom says, like, oh my God, if I don't find a bigger house next summer, I'm going to kill myself. Whatever. Like, we need more space. And it's like, here, let me give you my card. And not to eavesdrop, I overheard your conversation. If I can help you at all, or if you know anybody, I remember when I first got started, that was a big part of it, just being out there. I was in the office. I remember in our office, I was in the office for the first couple of weeks. And then I realized, like, okay, our office was a house downtown, and there wasn't even a sign out front. It was just, the guy had bought this place and turned it into an office, my broker, independent broker. Great little place to be, but nobody's going to walk into this office saying, hey, is there a realtor that can help me? Like, not going to happen. I realized I had to get out there and be out where the people are. And so I picked up my first deal with Starbucks, just overhearing people next door. They were in the military getting transferred out, and I went over to them, and sure enough, they didn't have anybody, that they were working with. And that was my first closing.
I didn't do those deals. I'm at 72 now from my couch. I 100% agree on that. My personal goal is just for me wanting it, and to have a place if anybody needs it, kind of thing. But because there is a little reservation, everyone's like, oh, with the office. Okay. If I give you one, you're going to see the success anyways. And if that's what you need, even though you'll never be there, maybe that'll be helpful. But 100%, I was at Chili's yesterday and someone was talking about, when you're in real estate, your ears grow about, someone mentioned home. It's like squirrel, we hear it everywhere, and that opportunity is always available. We live in a military community. When people move, we can help them move. When people are buying, selling, anything, we are available. And I think that that's a great analogy of just being out there. Half of my group has their laptops and they go to Starbucks and they have stickers on the back of their laptops and it says, ask me about real estate. And that gets people busy. Just put yourself out there and talk about it and be there to listen. And I think that if you have that heart to want to help people, it's going to come to you. I believe in that 100%. They can see that I'm here. And maybe I'm still new, but I have people in place. My clients are looking for a house right now. They were about to make an offer. We have a deal. They were about to make an offer, and 20 minutes before I'm done writing this offer, they're like, "Hey, can we see this house?" Yes, let's go in 20 minutes. I jumped. I went. We saw it. You have to be flexible and available at all times, and know that and by the way, his mom's buying a house and he just told me. So I got that deal too. Why? Because I'm there available when they need me. I know we can set standards and say, I'm not going to be available. But right now I want everybody to know that I am available at all times, because it is important to me. Your future home is important to me.
Sure. I think especially at the beginning, building the business, it's like, you do have to, I think the work-life balance it's going to be out of balance for a little while. Over time, you can start setting it up to get more balance. You can hire an assistant. You can bring a couple more people onto a team if you want to. You can start leveraging yourself a little bit and get some of that balance back. But it is one of those jobs where, again, if you're not working it, you got to work it, and treat it like a business. I think so many people treat it like a hobby. It'll pay you like a hobby. Treat it like a hobby.
My assistant is out showing my clients 4 houses right now while we do this interview. Why? Because I built that foundation with them. And she is I taught her my standards, and my clients won't be disappointed with what her work ethic is as well.
Wear your badge. The other day, Saturday, we were doing Christmas stuff, and I had to run to Lowe's, get more lights every year. Got to get more lights. The lights, they don't work. Are you kidding me? I just bought these lights last year, but anyway, not going to deal with it. So go to Lowe's, get more lights. I had a baseball hat on, cap, EXP Realty, and actually somebody, came up to me.
Yeah,
whatever. I'm meeting them tomorrow. They're looking to sell. But it just having it out there. It's like you just don't know.
And it's growing. When I joined EXP, we were at 32,000 people last June. Look at how, and I can tell you, it's crazy how fast it changed. I left the other brokerage, and then I'm like, when you introduce yourself, when you call another agent, this is Kelley Cortner with EXP Realty, and you're just like, I know you're not going to want to talk to me. Well, now I hold my head up high. I mean, I knew it was great, but funny how a year later, we are at how many now?
We're approaching, I'm going to say 350 here in Colorado Springs.
Okay,
as far as right here in town, but 68,000 was the last they announced. I think we used to be at 70 by the end of the year.
Absolutely. And that growth is the momentum, and it's working. And I'm going to hit something back again. The whole stock thing, when they talk about, it dropped, right? You know what? Everybody was complaining it dropped. Well, guess what? EXP bought me my stock shares when it dropped to the lowest.
The lower the better. I'm like, I love when it drops. I'm like, this is more, let's get more, because I know where it's going. I think over time, it's just going to continue it's going to be doing this as it's doing this. I mean, the forecast is nothing but good.
I love it. I'm very thankful. And let me tell you, Jeff, I'm really thankful for you, your dedication to EXP, for us and for me and my group. We go there. Jeff does these weekly or every other week lunch and learns, and I used to go. I didn't have anyone I was bringing. I was just going just because we had like-minded people in the same room. And I love putting, you say this, you put people in the room that are better than you, so you can learn better for the future. And I just love going. And I feel like EXP and our group, our 300 and something agents that come to our meeting, whenever, it's open-ended. You can bring anybody, come for a free lunch, it's paid for. The dedication that you're doing to help other agents, whether I needed, we're not on the same downline, we're not, but you know what? If I needed something, I know that you're there, and I appreciate that. And EXP took the competition, I believe, out of real estate, because we all want to see each other grow. We want to see how successful you can be, because at the end of the day, anybody has a great opportunity. You're not making one man richer. You're making everybody on the same playing field.
I think it's important to just point out here real quickly, you and I aren't connected at all with this. Any deals that you do, I don't see a dime of that. There's nothing like that, but I feel like we're all one big giant nationwide, even worldwide team right now. And I've not seen that kind of collaboration in all my years in real estate, where everybody's working together to help each other. Because again, there's a paradigm shift when you all have ownership in the company. The better we all do, the better our brand does. The more people that will join us, the more people will be open to looking at it. That's all I want people to do is just look. You don't know what you don't know. Just look. So anyway, just to hit it, guys, we will have our lunch tomorrow. We'll be at View House. If you're here in Colorado Springs, you want to come. We got a private room over there. We usually have anywhere from 20 to 40 people, depends on the day. But the lunch is covered, paid for. Mike Benton Capital, want to give them a plug because they support us and pay for the lunches every week. But it's open to everybody in town, every realtor in town. Come and just see it. Have a free lunch. You're gonna eat lunch anyway. You might as well come over there. So
no
anyway,
pressure. No pressure.
Absolutely not. No, it's about getting the word out to people and then help you evaluate it for yourself. And if it intrigues you, we'll stay in touch and dive deeper. And if it doesn't, at least you know how it works. And so be it. It's all good. So, but any last thing you want to share, Kelly? I totally appreciate your time. This has been awesome. You want to share? I mean, new agents, again, hustle.
Listen.
You're hustling.
Yeah.
It's working for you. It's paying off in a huge way.
Yeah.
Doing awesome.
I don't have anything. I'm just very thankful for the opportunity. I'm very thankful for EXP. It's life-changing. Honestly, I don't think that I would be where I'm at without EXP. And I know that that's a plug right there. But why? Ask questions, look into it, interview people. You're doing yourself an injustice if you do not take the time to look at it from every angle and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for my cousin, Clark Hoppel, who shared the EXP model, and I saw something big, and I'm just, man, the life-changing opportunities that I have and the future that I have. I'm in 5 states now. That's pretty big. People can, it's a big deal when you are helping other people in different states and getting paid on that. And it's not very big, but you know what? It's the opportunity and then the growth that I see in the future. And I think that that's why I see that future in 5 years where we'll all be then.
Very cool. Well, I love that within 5 years, you're at least going to have the option. You could still do 42 deals a year if you want to, but you could also pull back and make as much money as you're making right now, if not more.
Yeah.
Because of the way this model works. And so it's just, I love that we at least have some options one way or another,
Yeah.
So, well, good deal. Well, listen, have a good rest of your year. I will probably see you tomorrow at lunch. I guess you coming tomorrow?
I'll be there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. And then, it's going to be a great 2022. And seriously, EXP is a better place having you in it. Seriously, it really is. You're a great agent. You're a strong agent, and keep growing. So
thanks, Jeff.
Awesome. Okay. Very cool, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll be doing more of these. Give it up for Kelly. She's doing awesome. If you want to reach out to Kelly, you want to give them your phone number? Anybody wants to reach out to you with questions? You want to do that? Go ahead.
Listen, let's talk. If I can help you make a decision, let's talk. It's 719-644-0944.
Yeah, and you can find her online, obviously, all these different sites as well. So anyway, guys, thank you very much, Kelly. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.
See you guys soon. Take care.